Welcome aboard the Culture Station. My name is Vince. Let's see what we find out there today.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a great day. Yeah, we're now into spoopy season, and with that being said, there's a new Exorcist film out there. And this morning I was going, just reading through the articles and stuff, seeing what was out there, and I came across a couple of articles about this new film. So let's take a look at a couple of them. The Exorcist Believer goes woke and tanks, and it's R.A.P. The Exorcist Believer, as it's confirmed the flick went woke, which probably explains why it's bombing on Rotten Tomatoes and the box office. It wasn't very good or scary. It shouldn't have been called Exorcist Believer. It should have been called Exorcist It Takes a Village to Perform an Exorcism, states a comment. I reached out on social media for a confirmation. The Exorcist Believer is woke AF, and now I got it. Social media users posted a clip featuring the return of Ellen Burstyn as Chris McNeil, who says something that is really shocking. Well, not shocking if you know the agenda-driven woke crowd. The Message. Referring to the classic 1973 movie directed by William Friedkin, Ellen Burstyn's Chris McNeil says in The Exorcist Believer, "I didn't actually witness it, the exorcism. They wouldn't let me." She asks, "Why not?" She replies, "My opinion? Because I'm not a member of their damn patriarchy." The man she is talking to is black and laughs. As pointed out by the Twitter user who leaked the footage, the scene makes no sense. There were actually 9 deaths in the original The Exorcist, and Father Marin and Father Damien sacrificed themselves at the end of the movie to save her daughter. But we see in The Exorcist Believer, it's all about shitting on the original movie and sending the message that just because she is female, she wasn't allowed to be involved in an exorcism, of which she has zero experience and knowledge. That, my friends, is woke AF. Regarding the reviews, The Exorcist Believer is at 23% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 55% audience score. IMDb gives it a 5.2 rating. A 23% on Rotten Tomatoes on a site that was just exposed. You can buy good reviews on a site that generally gives good, it seems like they start at a 70% on the critic side, and you have to work really hard to go down from there. And they got a 23%. That is not good news for them. The flick was also tracking over 30 million this weekend at the box office, but is now estimated to bring in 28 million. My guess is it'll be ready by Halloween to go video on demand. And this film is supposed to be a setup for a trilogy, but if it doesn't do good in the box office, thankfully we likely won't have that happen. If it does go VOD by Halloween, that would be insane considering it just came out. Then this other article I found, The Exorcist Believer director response to Star Wars rumors, piqued my interest because I honestly didn't even know who the director was until reading this article. And while the me of 10 years ago is crying out that do not let this guy touch Star Wars, the me of today, since I don't even care anymore, I'm not surprised at all now that this is who Lucasfilm would pick to direct a Star Wars anything. Film, show, whatever. But let's read the article. Apparently, rumors have been swirling that David Gordon Green, known for the Halloween trilogy and The Exorcist Believer, is attached to a Star Wars project, which appearing on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, the director addresses the Star Wars rumors. David Gordon Green also commented on Marvel and DC comic book movies and let it be known that he is developing a Garbage Pail Kids animated series. Josh Horowitz questions, where does Star Wars fit in? There have been rumors that you're developing a Star Wars project. David Gordon Green confirmed that he has had talks with Lucasfilm. I met with some of the folks there, he replied. However, he said he isn't doing anything with the franchise. There's never been a project or an idea, David Gordon Green said. Those kind of meetings are fun because I do know a lot about at least the old Star Wars movies, and those are really fun, and a very strong part of my excitement as a kid watching movies was those movies. So if he really is a fan of the old movies, and they really did have an actual influence on him growing up as a kid, hopefully, if he does get hired by Star Wars, at least that might push in the right direction. But we've also heard that countless times before. Kevin Feige was a huge comic book nerd, and J.J. Abrams was a huge Star Wars fan, and look what they both did. David Gordon Green reveals that Hollywood execs like to listen to ideas but it sounds like just taking a meeting isn't a sure thing. There's executives that want to know who's out there and what they're thinking, and hey, he dusted off a Halloween franchise, or he's working on an Exorcist franchise. I wonder if he's got something creative to bring to the table, he explained. But my impulses are always pretty eccentric, and I would always be very curious too of where that would go, But I don't know. I would never say no because every time I say never is when I get the phone call that makes me excited about something, and so I've learned those lessons. And so after I read this, I went and checked out this guy's, IMDb just to see what movies he had done. And as a director, his movies, his movie scores as a, blah, blah. And as a movie director, not TV, uh, his movies aren't exactly a very ringing endorsement. Let's see, Exorcist Believer 5.2, Halloween Ends 5, Halloween Kills 5.5, Halloween 6.5. Mugglehorn 5.5. I think his best movie was Pineapple Express 6.9, or George Washington 7.2, but that was all the way back in 2000. And I've never seen it, so I can't really judge it. But so the guy who did Pineapple Express and Your Highness is supposedly in talks to do Star Wars with Lucasfilm. And that is at the same time both hilarious and not at all surprising, at least to me. But you guys tell me what you think. Do you think David Gordon Green could make a good Star Wars film? Do you think he even is going to make a Star Wars film? Were you excited about The Exorcist? Are you going to go see it now that these reviews have come out? Have you seen it? What did you think? Is it as woke as this article is saying? Let me know. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.
Thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on the X at CultureSailor1. I'll see you next time, and as always, fair winds and following seas.